Let's make dim sum style pork ribs on fluffy steamed rice. Every time I go to the dim sum, right, pork ribs are something that I always order, you know, but you pay $5 or $6, you get a small little plate like this. I think to myself, wow, if I can make this, I can have all I want, all I can eat at home. So I tried a few recipes, but they didn't really turn out to be the kind of pork ribs that they actually serve at the dim sum. At the dim sum, the pork ribs are always very tender and they are white in color, they're not like dark. So in this recipe, I'm going to show you how to treat the pork ribs so they will turn out exactly like the ones in the restaurant. And then we're going to serve it on fluffy steamed rice. Okay, ready? Let's go. These ribs are easily available at the frozen section of the supermarket. So the first thing is to cut the pork ribs into the correct size. What we want is 2cm cubes. You need to have a strong cleaver and you need a mallet. That's the difficult part. The next task is to really get rid of all this myoglobin, and this is the most important part. If you don't get rid of it, when you steam the pork ribs, they'll turn out very brown. Just fill it up with some water and then you start massaging it. The pork will taste fresher. Give it a good massage and change the water. I think you need to do it 4 or 5 times before it actually runs nice and clear. Right now I'm going to just discard this water and then we're going to brine it. I'm using 2 cups of water, that's 500 ml, 1 teaspoon of baking soda and 2 teaspoons of salt. Okay, we just stir to make sure that everything is dissolved. So after a 15-minute brine, you'll find that the pork has absorbed some of the water and it's more tender. This is how I always treat my frozen meat. Just gonna leave this in the fridge for 15 minutes while we wash the rice. You can actually do this whole recipe in the rice cooker itself. But I just wanted to take the opportunity to show you how to steam rice, because I find that when you actually steam the rice, you can get a very nice and fluffy texture. You want to gently massage the rice to remove that outer layer of starch, and we keep washing until the water runs clear. After 5 rinses, you can see that the water is now clear. So what we do now, we're going to put it into our bowl and we're going to steam it. Because we're going to have the pork ribs on top, I'm just going to add 1 cup of water to 1 cup of rice. If you're steaming rice by itself, usually you add 1.25 to 1.5 cups of water per cup of rice. The steamer is going. Ooh, hot. It is hot. Put in the rice. Let's set the timer for 20 minutes. So while the rice is steaming, let's talk about the rice we are using today, which is USA Calrose Rice. It's a medium grain rice, very versatile. We've used it to make clay pot rice, we've used it to make chicken rice balls, and you can find the rest of the recipes on the blog. They use technology to minimize environmental impact. So it's a very good rice, very useful, very versatile, so make sure you look out for it next time you're at the supermarket. So after 15 minutes, as you can see, some more of the myoglobins come out, the waters all turn pink again. So you're wondering, in the restaurant, do they really do this actually massage the pork and all? No. What they do is they put it in a big pot and then they'll turn on the water hose and they'll just let the water keep flowing. After a while, the water actually runs clear. But we are doing such a small portion, so we can actually do this by hand. And it's actually quite nice to massage the pork and get the meat in between. Okay, anyway, water is nice and clear and the bicarbonate is already tenderized the meat a little bit, but not too much because you still want it to have the sort of bite of a pork rather than a sponge. I'm just going to drain all this water and then we're going to start marinating the pork. So we want the marinade to actually go into the meat, so we're going to get rid of all this excess water. Never use soy sauce and oyster sauce because a lot of recipe calls for it. When you add soy sauce and oyster sauce, it's going to darken the pork again. So keep it very simple. So add some salt, a bit of sugar, MSG, yes, monosodium glutamate. Unless it causes some funny effect on you and you're sensitive to it, actually MSG is quite safe for most people. Some Chinese wine, just a bit of pepper, massage again, sesame oil. This will give it a nice fragrance. Add in the garlic. Just keep massaging. You'll find that it gets drier and drier because it's absorbed all that seasoning. We're going to put in some corn flour, and the corn flour will give it shine and it also protects the meat while it steams. So it should look something like this. This is where we add the oil, so they'll just coat the outside. Okay, once the oil goes in, then the pieces start to separate again nicely. So it's all ready. So the rice is steamed and now we can construct the pork rib on rice. This is a very nice and light meal because as you can see the seasoning is quite light. Make sure it's just 1 layer thick. because it's going to steam in 10 minutes. We're going to add just a little bit of ginger, fermented black beans. This stuff is powerful umami, right? You don't need to add a lot. Put some red chili. We're going to steam this now for 10 minutes. Okay, 10 minutes up. Let's check on our... Ooh, look at that! See? Like I told you, it looks exactly like the one in the dim sum, right? Firstly, we have the rice, which is nicely steamed. Calrose rice is slightly sticky and it clumps together like that, so you can actually pick it up with your chopsticks. Lovely texture. Of course, the pork ribs. It's tender but not overly tender. You might want to add a little bit of a seasoned soy sauce. You can find the recipe in the post. It took me quite a while to work out how to actually get the pork to this texture and look. So I hope you enjoy the recipe as well. And make sure that when you're trying it out, also try out some Calrose rice if you haven't tried it before. It's a very versatile rice that I'm sure you and your family will love. So until next time, happy cooking and bye!